Alright. Welcome back, day 77 of learning to read Chinese, and we're continuing on today with our wedding chapter. Our first character of the day is Ko. Now, Ko, originally referring to Ko To. Well, originally just meaning knock. So, like, when you knock a door or you knock on anything, Ko To is referring to this specific type of bowing, and you show respect because you're supposed to knock your forehead on the ground just a little bit when you do it, like that. And then extended from that meaning, sort of the figurative sense of the sincerity, the deep sincerity that's expressed by knocking your head on the ground when you bow. If you add ko in front of other types of verbs to express sincerity. Ko cheng, ko qing. Ko xie, ko wen. Anything that's like extra heartfelt, extra sincere, that kind of thing. Shou. Shou also means head, so similar to ko tou, ko shou is gonna mean the same thing. So originally this, hold on, I forgot to look at the other one. Ko. This is a person kneeling, and then the mouth on the left tells you that it makes a sound, so that's the dunk sound when your head hits the ground. Shou. This one originally was the head of an animal. You got a big eye, you got the brows or the crest or whatever you have. Shou, which means head or chief or leader, the beginning, the first. Can also mean inform or surrender. Shou. That's like if you committed a crime and you turn yourself in, that's called 自首. Measure word for poetry. So if you say a piece of music, a song or a poem, you'd say 一首诗 for one poem, and 一首歌 for one song. It's also using this one. Ju. So ju originally referred to a ball that was used in a game in ancient China. I guess kind of like a soccer ball, you kick it. And that comes from this on the left. Ge refers to a skin or a leather. So this was a drawing of, like a pictograph of an animal's skin. And on the right, this is like a bundle. You put rice in it, or you put grass in it or something. You stuff it. And you wrap it up with the skin. And that's how the balls were made. And later on, developed into filling them with air. But in the far ancient times, they were stuffed with grass and grains and stuff. Ju can also mean bow, like the gesture of respect, and that is what it means here because you put it together with
请练习今天新学的字
gong. So 鞠躬 refers to bowing to show respect. Gong is your whole body, oneself, or could mean personally because referring to the self. And it can also, because this is gong, this is a bow, right? Like an archery bow. This can also mean bend forward or bow or arch, like the body, the spine. If you look at the etymology on this, on the left is sheng, which is the body, right? On the right, it used to be lü, and that was a representation of the vertebrae. and then over time replaced it with the bow character, which looks kind of similar. And it also helps because this character is pronounced gong, and then this also is pronounced gong, so it has that phonetic property. And the arch of the bow still kind of recalls the spine, so it serves the same sort of semantic purpose. Gong.
请练习今天新学的字。
Oh, we gotta mute it. So that's our first 4 characters. This page will load. 叩首鞠躬. So you're paying respects by bowing on your knees with your head to the floor, and this is like bowing from the waist, just bending at the waist, bending forward at the waist. Sweet. Well, it's like how low you bow represents the level of respect and sincerity or repentance or whatever it is that you're bowing for. Sweet means to follow, comply with, adapt to, let someone do, whatever, look like, carry on, or according to. So originally this is here's a road. It got pretty complicated over here. A road, here's the foot, setting foot on the road, and here's a bunch of little mountain range or like little hills. Get the hand over here. On the right, this. Okay, so if you look at the traditional form, you'll see that this part kind of broke it into 2 pieces. But this part here, with this on the left and then this on the right, without the walking foot, is also sweet, which has a phonetic purpose, because that's sweet, so this is also sweet. And sweet kind of meant falling or dropping, has that sort of meaning. So随是之后向前跟. So this is about following. And that's why the sui took on those other kinds of meanings, like when you say 随他去, like let him do what he wants. It's like 随他的意思, 随他想要, like just going along with whatever you wanted to do, or your desires, or your will, or that sort of thing. Or the part about I think that's sweet. The component sweet doesn't really have commonly used meanings anymore. I think it's mostly just in names. But apparently once upon a time it did have like falling, dropping, weighing down kind of meaning. So when you talk about following, follow, comply, adapt to, follow someone else's likes, will, desires, whatever. Like carry on, according to, it's like in following some rules or some tradition or some habit or whatever. Sweet. Su means customs. It can also mean the mortal world, or the vulgar, the mundane, the mediocre, the everyday, popular, secular, these such things, as opposed to like the elevated or the spiritual or the excellent, outstanding, extraordinary, just your average everyday stuff. So when you say 随俗, that's following customs. This one on the left is a person, and on the right is a valley. So it's kind of like all the people who live in this valley sort of live the same way. Qian. This inside is in the simplified form. This inside is qian for like 1,000, and this is a walking foot. And the qian for 1,000 inside is pretty much phonetic, but I guess you could also say it's like you're moving a large number of people. Move, migrate, change, ascend, promote, banish, change one's residence, or disperse. So originally, the traditional form of this character is written like this. If you look back over time, you'll see, like in this one, it's pretty clear. You got three sets. This is 6 hands holding these bundles and moving them somewhere. The different ones have different numbers of hands. Some of them have feet in that, like that's a foot, that's the road. It's the hands carrying the thing. Here's all the people, 4 people carrying a thing. And this one's actually got another bit on the right. E, which means like a city or a village. It's like everybody in the village is helping to move all this stuff from one place to another. So qian, moving, migrating, changing the residence. Xi is also moving from one place to another, especially from higher to lower. Change, exile, just as this also has the meanings of change. Banish, move, migrate. Be transferred to another post. So qian, the difference between qian and xie, though they have much of the same meanings, qian refers more to stuff like goods, belongings, things like that, and xie refers more specifically to the people. So this, pretty straightforward, this one. On the left, the road, and on the right, the feet walking. Just footprints, that's what it is. Very straightforward. Easy to remember what that means. It's the road and there's 2 feet. So, they're moving the newlyweds into their new home according to the customs, something like that. Ding, ding could be give advice repeatedly. So that's like nagging almost. Sting, like a bee or a wasp or a mosquito. Stick with, your attention. That kind of thing. Question closely, interrogate. When you've really got your attention fixed on someone or something and you won't let go. You won't let it go. Tinkling sound. That's just because it sounds like that. Ding. And so this is also pretty straightforward. On the right is a nail, and on the left is a mouth. So if you've nailed your mouth to somebody, it's like you keep talking to them, you keep talking, you won't shut up. That sort of thing. Give them no peace. Tinkling sound, in that case, it's just like the sound ding, and then the mouth on the left telling you that it's a onomatopoeia, which is a different sort of root. for the meaning of this character. 主 is enjoin or entrust. So that's like when you tell someone to do something, but with a deep level of mutual respect and trust, and like everyone's in it together. It's commonly used referring to tasks assigned like between family members. To exhort, entrust, asking a favor of someone very close to you for something that you both want to accomplish, for like your greater collective good. That sort of thing is called 主. And this, the right side is also 主, which is phonetic in this case. And apparently it does also have the meaning of 托付, which means to entrust. So it's got the phonetic and the semantic sort of component. 连缀 is putting together a successive, linking a successive cluster, a chain of things. You're linking together, it's like whoever's gonna complete each task in a process, that sort of thing. And I don't really know why there's worms down there. The mouth on the side would imply the part about telling someone to do something. This could find that. Let's see what's got to say about this. Okay, so this part of here, this 属 component is also phonetic. Talking about bugs. Bugs that don't stop moving forward. Okay. And then this meant linking together the way that the movement of the bug is continuous or something. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, 主, and this is also 主, and this is 属, or at least originally was before it got simplified. Okay, moving on. Or maybe you want to look at some of these words. 嘱托, 叮嘱. This is 嘱托 again. Yi主. Let's see. 主告, 嘱咐, 嘱托. Okay. Moving on. 卿. 卿. Usually referred to anything done by the emperor himself. So you just stick it in front of any word, any verb that of actions taken by the emperor, and that would tell you that it was the emperor who did them. This is extra level of respect and formality that you use in language referring to the emperor. And so then, now that there's no emperor anymore, this word is used to indicate admiration or respect, just as a verb, just by itself. So common one like 钦佩, this one. qingpei, which means admire. qingyang, admire and respect. Yang has a sort of like looking up, facing upwards, looking up to someone. qingzan, or zan, is like giving praise to someone. So venerate and admire, all these sorts of things. So that the attitude that people used to bring to the emperor, if you bring that attitude to someone, you think they're like really great, like the best, the most powerful, and like deserve the highest respect, that sort of thing. Pei. Pei originally referred to this series of mounds. And this on the right, this is bei. So partially phonetic, and then bei means like it multiplied over many times. So it's like you take this series of mounds and then you add another series of mounds. So it means going together. Going together, accompany or assist. So that could be like keeping someone company. It could be like going along with someone to help them out on some mission or some errand. That type of thing. Can also mean to compensate. Well, that's a different character now. A lot of things that are homophones that sound the same as other characters, and the characters in older literature used to be sort of interchangeable, but now we added like more different radicals to differentiate them, and they're not the same character anymore. So, 陪伴 is accompany or to keep company. 陪衬 serves as a contrast or foil. 陪床 is being like the bedside attendant of a hospitalized patient. 陪吊 would be a mourning attendant. 陪房 are bridesmaids accompanying her to her new marital home. 陪画 陪考 is any sort of assistant. 陪客, a guest invited to a dinner party to help entertain the guest of honor. 陪哭, hired wailers. This is like people who you hire to cry at a funeral. To cry with you. 陪审, 陪侍, 陪送, 陪同. Yeah, okay, so accompany or assist. Oh, this is so slow. So this 叮嘱钦培 叮嘱, it's is gonna be like all the people in the wedding party who are very attentive to making sure that everything on the big day works out and every little detail is looked after with you every step of the way, that sort of thing. 辈 refers to the generations of a family or the generations of a product line or that sort of thing. A lifetime of a person or an animal or a device, a machine, whatever. Class, as in like a class of students, graduating class, that sort of thing. When you look at the etymology of this character, you see that on the bottom, 车, this is a car, a carriage, chariot, what have you, and on the top, this fei is made up of two wings. So originally this was talking about when the chariots enter the battle formation, the way that they scatter. And of course, when you're entering a battle formation and you need to get all the cars, all the chariots into the array in their appropriate spots, you gotta do it kind of in waves, right? So that's how it came to mean like the stages that one follows the other of these things coming out. So the generations of a family, or project or product or what have you. Bei. Fun. Fun means portion, share, limits, affection. What are these? I'm not as familiar with those, but apparently it does also have those meanings. Portion, share, duty, a unit, or measure word for a portion. So that'd be like your portion of cake, your portion of inheritance, your portion of responsibility. It's kind of where this duty meaning comes from. So you say 辈分. 辈分 is going to refer to your portion in like the family tree. It means short, like a short stature. A person, animal, or plant is lower than average, like lower than average in stature. And even it's low or lower grade or base. If you look at this character on the left, this was an arrow. So the arrow is indicative of length. You got a little person down here, and on top you have the stalk of grain. So it's like when this person is so short that like the stalks of grain are taller than their head, and the arrow is only about as long as an arrow, that sort of thing. Short height is usually what this is used for. D means low or lower than normal. Low grade, to lower, to let droop, or to hang down. Low. So anything that's a low level, you would say D. And this character, again, another very straightforward pictograph. The origin of it was here's a person holding a heavy object, and this heavy object is hanging down low. So that's D. In this context here, you're saying that these people in the wedding party that are being the little helpers and making sure that everything runs smoothly and paying attention to all the little tasks, these people are usually the juniors in the family, the people who are of the younger generations who are helping out with these little tasks. So that'd be our 2 lines for today, and our practice. We learned 居首. Oh, I gotta unmute this now.
属主亲低
I misclicked.
背坤
Oh, now it's giving me old stuff. And why are they in order? That seems a little wrong.
毛低
Okay. What is this? Okay. All right. You do want to be doing a bit of the extra practice to make sure you don't forget anything that you previously learned.
谢
And that was wrong. And this is this one. I knew that actually.
盾
as well. What else have we got? Oh yeah, the idioms here, which I did show you the other day. Using all the characters that you've already learned to read. If you use these in daily speech, you'll really seem smart and educated. So, new content for upgrading your literacy to the next level, beyond just being able to recognize all the characters. You also know all these special phrases and stuff that people use in conversation, use in writing. Sound smart, sound educated, know what people are talking about. Know the stories behind the meanings and the stories behind the metaphors and such that are used on the day-to-day. So that'll be all for today. We'll see you tomorrow. Continuing on with our wedding chapter.